Welcome back to Cards and Comics. Today I have another 90s box break and our journey to open close to 500 boxes from the 90s. Unique sets, all distributed in wax format from the 90s. Today we have a fun product, not overly expensive, but not exactly the cheapest product. 93 Bowman, and obviously it has one major rookie card, but it has a second rookie card of a player that is kind of a borderline Hall of Famer. Now, it's kind of fun because this product has 708 cards, I believe. So getting the Derek Jeter rookie out of here, which is the big rookie card, is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. However, it also contains the only rookie card of Andy Pettitte, which is pretty special, pretty cool, and pretty fun if we can pull the Jeter and the Pettitte in one box. Now, statistically, the odds are against us, so let's get into it and we'll see if we can beat the odds and grab one of the two, or all three, or all two of the two big time rookies. Now, I don't have my knife with me, so I'm gonna go. Actually, I do have it. It's over here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna use scissors because I got them just even closer than my old dull knife I've been using for years and years on this channel. All right, and it's been years and years. I believe we're gonna hit year 4 on this channel at some point coming up. In a couple months, so that's insane to think it's been 4 years, but yeah, we're getting up there. All right, here we go. 93 Bowman, and there is the wax packs. Now, when I remember this product as a kid, and I was actually opening up a lot more 92, believe it or not, that these were hard to open, and they were really cool packs because they were tight and they were plastic. And I thought they were like really, I want to say like well made. If that makes sense. You know, like it looks like it's an expensive product, right? Because, you know, this is still coming out of the era where we had just gotten really through, like real wax packs. And so this was still kind of new. And so I thought these just looked really cool when I first saw these cards. All right, here we go. We're looking for Andy Pettitte, Derek Jeter, and then obviously Griffey and Frank Thomas, because they are who I collect. Now, there is like some subset cards and some gold cards, but I believe there is a subset Griffey card. So, first thing to check for is how sticky they're going to be, and they don't appear to be too sticky. There's Eric Karros, who was a pretty good player for a little while. He was a rookie of the year. And we'll see. They're not too sticky. We'll try to get them all. There's our, I think, one gold card per box. That's Russ Davis, who kind of played for a while. Joe Carter, Hall of Famer. And again, these design-wise are very similar to 92. So they basically took the if it's not broke, don't fix it approach in 93 with this product. Big set. A lot of perceived young players, but John Smoltz. The thing that was interesting about the set was, 92 came out and it kind of put all the rookies in that one product. 93 has very few rookies. It only has, one, rookie card of someone that we all kind of like want to collect. But yeah, I do think it's cool that it has the only Pettitte rookie. If you think about it, it's like very few, like this time period of collecting, it's rare to have a player of his kind of stature only having one rookie card. So that's kind of cool. Willie Green. So, and again, you're going to see a lot of players in here that you've never heard of because the sets were so big. There's Lenny Dykstra, who's been voted by a lot of people, like there's Chipper Jones. That's kind of a cool card. One of the worst, Tony Gwynn, nice looking card. One of the worst, players, from an attitude and just like awful guy to be around. Dykstra has been voted like that by a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of writers talk about him, like how he was just so insufferable. And I read a story, or I was watching a story that basically someone was going to interview him about the Phillies teams back in the day, and like he wanted like a lot of money and a hotel, and I think the guy is just kind of a jerk. And he was really appreciated for a while as being that hard-nosed, kind of like Pete Rose kind of guy. And then, kind of got the Curt Schilling treatment as his career. And mentioned Curt Schilling. There we go. As his career, or his kind of like post-playing career has kind of led to people to be like, yeah, this guy's not a very cool guy. And that's what happens to a lot of players over time. It's like, I think Curt Schilling has definitely cost him the Hall of Fame for now, I think. It's just, like one of those things that happens, it's, we've got things like that, you have to worry about. But if you think about it, like, think about like the Black Sox guys, like Joe, a lot of the, a lot of the Black Sox players, some of those guys, never took money or took money but didn't actually really tank. So yeah, that was George Brett. I always think it's cool to see a 90s George Brett card. I don't know why. So, like Shoeless Joe Jackson, he never is going to get in the Hall of Fame. And even though it's not really like it's like he's hard to prove based on his playing that he actually did anything wrong, during that time period or during that World Series. So, he's been banned. Pete Rose has been banned. And then now you got the baseball basically taking money from gambling companies pretty much left and right. You got the whole Ohtani issue right now, and it just seems like maybe we should relook at some of those guys who aren't in the Hall of Fame because of gambling, and it feels like like they got shunned maybe a little unfairly, or maybe in modern terms it's more okay to maybe let them in because they're playing. I think it's a slippery slope with these guys, honestly, because I think the steroid guys have a similar argument that, kind of like, yeah, they may have done something wrong, but it wasn't really illegal at the time, and, but we're being shunned. I just think it's some interesting discussions. There's Jim Abbott. Cool. Always like watching video clips of him playing. Just like, we haven't really seen anyone since do kind of what he was doing. I don't think we really, maybe it was cool that we didn't do that, but I remember at the time, like the novelty of Jim Abbott kind of was like, oh, then when he was a good pitcher, but he wasn't like a Hall of Famer, but he wasn't terrible. You know what I'm saying? He was just good and had a good career. And since he wasn't like, a 20-time All-Star, and he wasn't terrible, like no one even talked about him. Like it was still amazing he could do what he could do, right? And it was just like, oh well, he's not a superstar, so we don't care if he's like one of the few guys in baseball history who had that kind of issue and played at that level for so long. So yeah, I've always found that to be interesting. That like for example, there's Pokeries that maybe there has been, but I'm just don't know of any documentaries. Or it seems like he would be a guy that would have a documentary. Maybe there is. I'm just not aware of it, but his story seems really, really made for that kind of thing. But he didn't make the Hall of Fame. He was just a good player, and it's like, well, if you're just a good player, you don't get a documentary. You don't get people following you around, and you don't get people really, Hey, Jason Kendall. Getting too excited about you if you're just a good player. Tim Salmon. You know, that probably was a good card at the time. And that just, you know, that's the part that I'm always a little bit like, yeah, you know, like it's still really cool. Like it's what he was able to do. So anyway, it just, remember as a kid thinking like, why are we just thinking this is like normal? Maybe that's what's good. It's like it became normal, right? Just watching pitch. But then we didn't go back and say, like, well, this guy was pretty special. We haven't seen his like ever since. All right. And if you saw it, but there was a King Griffey Jr. right on the back of the pack, which is kind of cool. So we hit a Griffey, which is awesome. Deion Sanders. So like having the Griffey on the back isn't, you know, I don't know. I just think condition wise, it kind of makes it a little more challenging, maybe, to keep it in perfect shape. There's Ozzie Canseco, Jose's brother. Yeah, he didn't have much of a career. Tom Candiotti. I don't know if a lot of people know that Candiotti had a huge, I mean huge, sports card collection. He was one of the first people I ever read an article about in the SMR, was Candiotti. So it's kind of funny everyone gives, you know, Dimitri Young like all this like, you know, publicity because he had the Hall of Fame rookie set, which was amazing. But Candiotti had a huge collection. I remember reading about him, so it was kind of cool. And there is Griffey Jr. There we go. I always thought this vote was kind of weird because it looks like he's like short, like because of how his swing kind of let him kind of crouch, you know, in that position. So I've always thought it was like a little bit of a weird photo of his swing because it's like taken after the backswing and him kind of like watching the ball. So kind of an interesting photo there. So we hit one of the cards we're after. So, you know, we got 4 guys we're chasing. Jeter, Pettit, Griffey, and Thomas. So 1 for 4, 25%. Which on a set that's this big, you know, which you're only going to get like, what, 14... You got 14 players, and I think this is still a 36 pack. No, 24 packs. So you've got 240 plus 96, so like 300, yeah, like 330 something cards. So you get less than half the set. So yeah, you got less than a 50-50 chance of getting any card in the set. So it just makes it like, you know, interesting to be able to actually pull any player from the set. So yeah, so you have to open like 2 or 3 boxes to kind of, you know, odds wise guarantee that you're going to get any one card, which is kind of cool. I mean, it does show like these massive sets back in the day. Especially Bowman was really fond of it, to do these massive sets, you know, because I don't even think in 92 it didn't call itself like home of the rookie card. It was really like we got really big sets, and you know, we're gonna have every player, and then we're gonna have these kind of gold cards, and that was sort of like the draw. It was just kind of like we've got every player, you know, huge set. There's Greg Maddux, and we also have these kind of etched gold cards, and then, you know, the 92 set became, you know, really synonymous with rookie cards. And then, so I think they really figured out like they needed to lean into that. Because, you know, like later on in 95, you had the 2 Hall of Famers. You got Andrew Jones and Vlad, and you had actually Scott Rowland. So you had 3 Hall of Famers in that set. So it's kind of like in the 97, you have, you know, a pretty big rookie crop. And I think the 97 crop was probably the beginning of, you know, like where Bowman really just was like, okay, we're about rookies. You know, because then they had the 97, then they went with Bowman Chrome, and kind of the rest is history. You know, 96 they did Bowman's Best. And which is, I think it's interesting, they did Bowman's Best in 96, but Bowman Chrome in 97. When in reality, you know, like they already had Topps Chrome in 96. So it's weird to me that they went with Bowman's Best over Topps Chrome. or sorry, Bowman Chrome. So maybe they were trying to like not like have too many Chrome sets, or they're like saving Chrome for the top brand, and it was going to be like, we're going to do a Chrome set for Bowman, but we're going to call it Bowman's Best, and then we'll keep the Chrome name for, you know, the base top set. And then by 98, it was like, no, we're just chroming up everything. Everything's going to get chromed. So yeah, I think that was, move on. I had 2 cards stuck together. I think that is an interesting development, that Bowman's Best was only a standalone set that 1 year. And then you had 2. And I do think that's because in 97, they went all in on the rookies, and they wanted another set. Like, you know, they were like, okay, we're going to really make Bowman the home of the rookie card, right? And we're going to do Bowman and Bowman Chrome and Bowman Specials. You know, rookies had started to, again, you know, take over the dominant, you know, thing that people were chasing. Still, and, you know, with inserts and refractors, it was kind of like, oh, we're going to have, you know, rookie refractors. And I think that is a big draw. Here's Ozzie Smith. Oh, Stan Belinda. Closer for the Pirates for a few years. There's one of the father-son cards, Hal and Brian McRae. That's kind of cool. Wade Boggs on the back. I got a couple cards here stuck together. So there you go. It's kind of cool. It's the first one of those we've seen, I think. There's Wade Boggs, still a Yankee. I love that. Paul Bird, and yeah. So again, a lot of packs, a lot of cards. You don't know who they are. So it's kind of fun to go back and kind of say, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Sorta. You know, he had a cup of coffee. He had a couple good years, and that was it. Which is normal. Like Delgado, this guy is really, really good. Quite a few years. And then, you know, he's kind of like in that hall of good. There is Ben McDonald again. Some really good years, but Bo Jackson's, you know, a lot of good players in this pack. Big Pen set the save record 1 year. So yeah. Man Ram, that's a cool card. I remember that card. I know his rookie's in 92, but still a cool card. Might be Orestes Estrada. I always remember he looked so different. Like he looked like a professor. Yeah. And I don't remember how many years he had in the majors, but he had like 1 or 2 really good years or something like. Just remember, like, you know, he came up, I think, kind of older. If I remember correctly. So let's see here. Well, we're 1 for 4 on who we're going to shoot for. We're hoping to get at least 2, right? Based on the odds, we should hit 2 of the 4 guys we're looking for. There's Cal Ripken. It's cool. Carlos Delgado again. And that really, really good, really good, you know, player classification. Yeah, there's a lot of players in the 90s. I don't know how they're going to do in the Hall of Fame. You know, Delgado. He's one. Andrew Jones is kind of the one that people are talking about right now. Scott Rowland got in finally. I mean, I've heard people talking about Jim Edmonds. And there's a lot of guys in the 90s who were really good. But, you know, like, there's so many of them now. It's like, how do you kind of draw the line? You know, and then you got the whole steroid question. So, a lot of stuff happening with, you know, Hall of Fame voting for the next, I don't know, like probably 20 years. The steroid guys are, you know, be a challenge year over year. Doug Drabeck, I hate seeing him as a Astro. And I think he had like 1 good year with the Astros, but he really never did much. You know, I think it was with the White Sox too. I don't think he really did much. He was just like an average to below average pitcher when he left the Pirates. So there's that. I think Smiley won 20 games after he left the Pirates. I think he won 20 games with the Reds when they were really good. So he had a pretty good couple years as well. Mark McGuire, cool card. All right, Bubba Smith. Sounds like he should be driving NASCAR. Larry Thomas. All right, well, we're down to 8 packs, so it's that 2/3 of the box is gone. And yeah, we're still looking for the first Jeter or Pettit. And again, we should hit hopefully another one of those last 3 cards we're looking for, based on just some of the odds we just talked about. And again, that's assuming like perfect collation, and you know, even at that, you could still get all 4 cards that you in that list of, or cards that you wouldn't normally get. Here's Mariano Rivera. That's a cool card, second-year card. See, like, it would have been awesome. I know it didn't work that way, but could you imagine if Rivera's rookie card was a 93, where you had Jeter, Pettit, and Rivera all in one product, and like Rivera's, that was like his only rookie card too. Oh, he's so, that would have been really cool. That would have been some fun. That'd make this product so much more valuable. Could you imagine, like, if Pettit makes a Hall of Fame and it had like Rivera and Pettit as their only rookie card available? Like, all of a sudden, and then there's a Jeter rookie in it too, and all of a sudden, like, 93 Bowman is like the key product of the 90s. Boxes go to like $800, you know, a pack or a box. David Justice. Like, he's another guy, right? Is David Justice ever going to get in the Hall of Fame? Jeff Bagwell is a Hall of Famer. Javi Lopez definitely had a lot of great years. Again, the 90s have a lot of guys who were really good that were hit by steroid allegations or, you know, assumptions. I mean, you know, Ivan Rodriguez is a guy, even though I collect his cards, but, you know, that Rangers team, you know, they're all suspect, I think. You know, it's just, I think, you know, anywhere Canseco was and, you know, McGuire was, there was, you know, like, people teaching. And that's the part that I think was interesting, was like they were all learning from each other, and you know, like, how to do this stuff. And I do think, like, I think you just got to look at those teams and there's Ricky. You got to look at those teams and say, like, yeah, like, all of a sudden, like, the Rangers looked like a bunch of like Marvel superheroes. Juan Gonzalez, you know, you had Ruben Sierra, you know, Juan Gonzalez, all these guys, all, you know, Ivan Rodriguez, all Canseco, all of a sudden became looking like superheroes. I remember, like, you know, again, I grew up in Oklahoma. I remember going to a Tulsa Drillers game. Tulsa was their AA team for a while. And every year, you know, and I don't know if they still do this, where the major league club would come and do an exhibition game against the minor league club to help, you know, with attendance and all that. And I remember I went to the game where they came, and I as a kid, I thought, well, I could get autographs. Well, that's, you know, anyone who's ever tried to get autographs, you know, knows, like, it's very tough to get an autograph. But I thought that's what I was going to do. So we get to the game, and I remember, like, seeing, because we got early, and I tried to get to BP and all that stuff. And I remember just seeing, like, the Rangers guys on the field, and they're just like how big they were. And just like, holy crap, these guys are monsters. You know, they all were just these, like, you know, muscles and just look huge. And like how big Canseco was. And it was just like, man, these guys look like football players. They don't look like, you know, like what I would think of as a baseball player. So I don't know. I know it's not real evidence, but it's just like, as a kid, that really struck me, was these guys just look like monsters. You know, just so big. All right, well, there's Frank Thomas. Yay, 2/3, 2 to 4. So we did hit the Frank Thomas. And again, I'm going to say it every time a Frank Thomas card shows up, where it shows him fielding, that I appreciate the different pictures, but not what he is known for. So not as cool about seeing a Frank Thomas card that's just him catching. But hey, it does show that he played, you know, more than just DH. He was on the field sometimes. All right, they're all Boston. So Bobby Ayala, Billy Ashley. Oh man, I may not get the Jeter. That would be, you know, that's kind of sad. I mean, you know, you want to hit the good card in every box, you know, especially something like this where there's only a few good cards in the whole product. You want to hit like one of the two. I mean, I would be happy with the Pettit just to pull one, you know, because I mean, I'm weird and I haven't looked at all the stats, but I just thought, you know, like Pettit would make the Hall of Fame given, you know, the reduced criteria for pitchers, you know, from the 90s and 2000s where they don't have to have, you know, as many wins and all that stuff to get in. And I got to look at his counting stats. I don't know if, you know, I don't know if like he just doesn't have enough counting stats to really, you know, get in or not. You know, and I think his postseason record is, I think, pretty good some years, and I'm not sure it was as consistent as I remember. I remember him being a very good, you know, postseason pitcher as well. But maybe that's just like, I remember a few times where he was amazing, and I don't remember when he got rocked, you know, kind of thing. Jason Beret. I remember he was a hot rookie for a little while. All right, Eduardo Perez. Oh man, Batista, Smiley, and Dave. So, or Seamus. Sorry, I thought it was Seamus. Yeah, last pack. So we gotta get some last pack magic to get one of the rookies, or we will get skunked in a box of 93. And it probably serves me right. After getting, you know, some of the cool hits I've been getting. So I feel like, you know, the way that it works is that you get, you know, you can't just keep getting, you know, cool hits every box. At some point, it's going to catch up with you. There's Pudge. Nice. You're going to get the box that, you know, like that. You don't get any of the big hits. So, Mike Hampton, Marty Cordova. Again, I think the Cordova was a big card at some point. Troy Neal. Ron Gant. Yeah. Not going to happen this time, guys. All those packs, and we just really got a few Hall of Famers, and we got a Griffey and a Thomas card. So it's kind of skunked on that box, you know. I mean, it'd been cool to pull one of the rookies, but 708 cards when you're getting like just over 300, it's hard. So hey, but we gave it a shot. And I opened a box of 93 Bowman on the channel. So you can kind of see like, hey, not every box has a Griffey. Or sorry, not every box has a Jeter. Not every box has a Pettit. So take that for what it is. If you open a box of this yourself, just know that you probably have less than a 50% chance of pulling the Jeter in that box. So that's how it works. You know, these aren't rigged or staged box breaks. I just buy the box and open it. And I get what I get. So in this box, didn't get the Jeter, but hey, it was fun. And hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.